Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I'm being guided today to do a reading on what you need to hear right now. So the way I'm going to do this is 3 different piles. Now you can watch all 3 if you feel guided or you feel like you can't choose, or you can watch 1, 2, none. Maybe nothing's going to stick out to you when I start shuffling the cards. That's fine too. You might find that the messages are very specific is what I'm getting. It almost feels like the messages are going to be personal in some way. Okay, so if you're noticing this and you're like, what the heck is that? It's a very weird looking stand. Okay, I don't know. It was cheap. Anyways, it's a weird looking stand I'm going to put my phone on because we're going to look at the cards together. So I think there's something here in the visuals or the way the visuals will be organized that is going to be significant for you. You might see a sign or a synchronicity in the cards. So I'm going to switch the angle over so you can see me shuffle out the 3 piles, and then you can choose your group or groups, and I'll see you there. Okay, let's shuffle out these cards into 3 groups. I did get a message as I was turning around the camera. Interesting way of saying it. You might turn the camera around on someone, meaning that now they were looking at you, but now you're looking at them. Okay, so the attention might have been on you and your actions or what you were saying, and now it's like the focus switches onto them and their actions, or a group of people or a workplace or whatever it is. The message I was getting is that something is coming through as a riddle for a reason. You may be trying to really squeeze something out of a stone. And now I'm seeing like philosopher's stone. But it's a riddle for a reason. It's a stone right now for a reason. You may need to connect the dots yourself because it's part of your awakening. And also, there are dots in this riddle that have yet to be established. Okay? So the outcome of something isn't fully decided quite yet. It feels like it's going to depend on someone's actions when the tables are turned against them. Okay, that's a very particular message. Won't be for everyone. But let's get these cards out and see. If someone needed that quickly. I'm feeling guided to pull another one. I really wasn't going to do that. Is that it? Yes. Okay. So, what else? We're going to use a few different decks today. I will put all of the decks in the description box below if you're interested. I'm seeing a scroll underwater. There could be some valuable information, a contract perhaps, a message that's been hidden. It could be hidden in your own subconscious mind. Water tends to represent the subconscious or even unconscious. Or someone's buried something where they don't expect you to find it. They've placed something somewhere where you don't expect to find it. Yeah, I'm seeing the blue ribbon tied around this scroll. It's interesting because the scroll looks completely dry. Check your blind spots, I'm getting. That could be literal. But there's something that you maybe need to double check or remember that you do have a blind spot in a certain situation. Check your blind spot, okay? Feels like you're going to see something really important there. Okay, a couple more cards, Spirit. Oh, when did that flip over? I didn't even see that flip over. Interesting. If you didn't see it, it said paranoia. Something is supposed to remain a riddle. Okay. If that piques your interest, but you were already thinking about going to another group, you might want to just check in on that group. Okay, but still watch the one that you were intuitively guided to. It showed itself for a reason. Okay. Yes, we will get some of these cards now. I'm hearing you're all set. No. Group 3, Spirit. Group 3. Group 3, you might be a little unsure here with how you feel about something. Or you're being very reserved in some way. I'm trying to shuffle out your energy, and I'm not feeling the card yet or seeing it. That doesn't even feel like it. 1 second. Okay, usually when this happens, I'm shuffling and the cards aren't coming out. It's because something else needs to be said. So what? You may have, oh, there it is. You may have been blocked in by someone, like someone's trying to back you into a corner, or maybe this is you. You've blocked yourself into something. You know? I'm hearing double parked. It's like, hold on, let me see the bottom. Yeah, 5 of Wands. There's something here where there's like, it feels like it's hard to maneuver, hard to get out of something. You can do it though. Okay, I just saw the Queen of Wands. But it feels like it's a little bit of a struggle. That could be for anyone. Doesn't just have to be for group 3, but I feel like it's most of that energy's there. It's so funny, you know, whenever I do pick a cards, I tell you to go with your intuition, but then all these like hints come out. I guess some things need to be said right out of the gate. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the charms, and then you can choose your group. The first group, we have an airplane. We have a fish, some handcuffs, a key for these handcuffs, a telephone, the letter L, a butterfly, Ace of Cups is what this looks like to me, and a saxophone. For group, oh, and an amethyst. And for group 2, we have a pentacle and the letter S. What is this? A guitar? Is this a guitar? Yeah, it looks like a guitar to me. Capricorn. Nope. Nope, nope. But I said it for a reason. Libra. Libra. And on the back it says charming. Scales of Justice. We have an alarm clock and the word love me. with this Smokey Quartz. And for the third group, we have the word forever, a sun. There could be something about esoteric knowledge that you're gaining. This looks like a trillium to me. A flower. The letter T, yeah. And this walnut. There could also be something about 5 years ago or 4 years ago that's important over there. Okay, so choose your group and I will see you in your groups. Okay, let me just move these groups to a safe spot. 1 second. Oh, don't you fall. Okay, group 1, the Amethyst. Let's first see what this reading is all about. The poet. So we did have a saxophone too. So you're very creative, and the Ace of Cups makes sense. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's do the Oracle cards first. Mischief and mayhem, freedom, surrender, abandon. And Blue Moon, opportunities, divine power, and clarity. Beautiful colors, all working together. Lovely. We have light and deception with paranoia. Oh yeah, we saw that. I forgot. Paranoia and constantly shifting. Wow, those go together. Okay, let's look at your energy. Knight of Wands. We have the card Success, Talisman, Divine Feminine, successful or social engagement, but I said successful. So successful social engagement and rest. And then the cards here. Well, first thing that's coming through is you need some time alone. Yes, High Priestess, you need some time alone. Something is brewing and stewing in terms of your own creative breakthrough, and engaging with other energies could contaminate that process. Like it could just stall it a little bit. Feels like you're on the verge of really bringing something into form, whether that's a plan, a thought you have, a certain project. It's about to happen. And then it feels like somebody else maybe wants to interrupt or engage you, maybe socially or something like that. Or there's an invitation that you get and Spirit's telling you that you need to protect your own space and time. It's not that you can't go, but maybe you want to limit some of those times that you're spending with other people just so you can give your creative energy the attention it deserves. Put these over here. Yeah, and the fish here reminds me of Pisces energy. The phone call, yeah, of course. So there are invitations coming. And it could feel like you've been spending a lot of time alone as it is. But that's for a reason. Okay, let me see what else I see here. What's the paranoia? Well, I am seeing that some deception has been brought to light. There was mischief, mayhem, or there is. But it feels like Spirit's encouraging you to surrender and free yourself, abandon that energy that you were either involved in or that keeps coming back around to you. It's not that you shouldn't pay attention to it or do something about it, but it feels like maybe you're holding on to some of that energy. Success. You're looking for a key to bring some more of this deception to light. There's a focus here on doing that. Or you already did, depending on where you are in the timeline. And I feel like Spirit wants to tell you that you've played your role. You've done your part. It does feel like there's a need to shift into a more self-fulfilling, creative space that is contained, where you can spend your time doing what you love. Because I'm hearing rapture. It feels like something has taken up a lot of your time and attention over here. It feels like some of this deception had to do with a contract or a partnership. Something was going well for a long time. Okay, or there was a mutual understanding. Or at least you thought there was. Turned out not to be the case. I'm going to get more information on that, actually. We do need more. Maybe I should use a different deck. Yeah, let's use this deck. Well, hold on a second. No, let's use this deck. Tell me more about this deception and mischief before we move into this other side of the reading. Because it is causing you to second guess something. Creation, your creativity. Okay, hold on. Something's coming through. You really had to do some digging and some hunting to bring some deception to light. Okay, it wasn't easy. There could have been a group of people involved in this, not just one. You did get the key, though. But all of that digging and hunting and investigating and finding out what was going on has become almost like a familiar energy to you that is now crossed over into your creative life. Whether that's artistic or your business plan or the way you're decorating your home or whatever you're doing here that's creative. It could be creative energy in a partnership. It feels like there's this undercurrent of like, yeah, but I have to get things right. I have to make sure everything is on the table, everything makes sense. And creativity doesn't really always work in that linear, logical, rational way. Sometimes, most of the time, creativity is messy. Intentionally. It's formless. So that you can shape and mold and create things that haven't been created before. Over here, you might have had to take some very specific actions to bring something to light. Spirit is really urging you to let some of that tension go. It was important that you did what you did and how you did it. But it has, and I don't know if this has been fully resolved yet, but it feels like the energy is crossing over into an aspect of your life where big, big things want to happen. Empress, I don't know if you can see. Let me move these up. Empress and High Priestess side to side. Maybe you're going to meet someone who's going to be a good counterpart for you in some creative venture. But side by side, these two cards are like phenomenal, like and with Divine Feminine, like you're unstoppable in whatever it is that you're creating. Opportunities, divine power, clarity, and it's the clarity of creativity that Spirit wants you to step into. And that clarity of creativity is that it's messy. And that you can't have perfection when you're being creative. It's almost like an oxymoron. There's no perfection in creativity. And something over here really demanded a little bit, it feels like almost like order. Let's find out. And it could have messed with your overall path, justice, exactly, order, exactly. Thank you, Spirit. Exactly. Okay, how many times am I going to say that? Well, maybe that's it. You needed to get something exact for justice. So making this switch isn't easy. But you're coming through as the Knight of Wands, which is full of passion and direction. And it also feels like over here, you might have had to keep going with something, like keep doing something. There was no rest. There was no break. It was constantly on your mind. You weren't going to be hoodwinked in any way, you know, and you had to do things properly in order to find something out. Here, you're bringing that energy of like you want things to be done swiftly. You want the song to be written yesterday. You want the reading to come out smoothly and perfectly, and it all ties up nicely and makes sense. You want to hit your goals tomorrow. You know, there's something here like I want it now. Like and what you want is beautiful, and you're happy about it, and you're excited about it. You're creating something here, and you're bringing all of this intensity and energy, but there's an expectation that it has to be done today, and it has to be done perfect, and it has to be done right in order for you to have success, because that's what you experienced over here. So there's a need here for you to be able to figure out how to switch tracks, switch energy tracks when you get into this zone. The constantly shifting that happens when you're creating, and it could even be creating a partnership, creating a friendship, whatever it is, constant shifts in your energy or your inspiration or your ideas is part of it. It's part of the creativity. It's not something that you should get down on yourself and say, I'm missing something, or I'm not good enough. Careful of trying to dull that paranoia around your own, maybe you're having like writer's block or creator's block or something like that, psychic block. You know, careful not to get too paranoid about it and then to drown your paranoia in something here that doesn't help you really in the long run. It just makes things more unclear to you about what's going on. It feels like you could be looking for a little bit of an escape to rest your mind from the paranoia that you felt over here, rightfully so. But now it's not serving you in something else that's happening, some new opportunity that's coming towards you of your own creation. You need sleep, definitely. Find a way to sleep, you know, find a way to sleep. Rest is going to be super important for that paranoia energy to kind of dissipate. Because I feel like some of you are not fully sleeping because that wavelength of paranoia, I'm seeing it like as an actual wave here, is just like there all the time, even when you close your eyes. And it doesn't mean like you're freaking out necessarily, but it's like constantly on your mind. So can we know a little bit more about what exactly you're paranoid about? Water. Didn't I say in the beginning something feels like it's underwater? Heartache, water. Find the exit and the High Priestess in reverse. You're worried that your intuition is going to lead you astray, or you're not going to be able to get out of something that had a lot of deception, mischief, and mayhem for a long time. You are wrapping up this chapter of your life. It's time to move on gracefully now. There's also a feeling of like unfinished business here, and expecting something to come up when you least expect it. Expecting the unexpected, which is really impacting the way that you flow. Yeah, that's what it is. It's hypervigilance because you had to be in order to catch something, in order to see that something was operating in the realm of deception. You had to be hypervigilant. But you can't be hypervigilant with this opportunity and this creation. It works against the flow of creativity to be that hypervigilant. I feel like it's over-analysis even. It's reminding me of like when you write anything, an essay, a book, whatever, a poem, and you keep like changing one word over and over and over again because you're getting a little neurotic about it even. But the first word that you put down was fine, and maybe 2 days from now you go back and you switch it, and that's fine too. So try not to be so analytic about your own process here. And there's paranoia that you're going to get hurt or someone's going to get hurt and that you didn't see it coming. Or that you'll be trapped in some kind of non-resolution I'm getting for a long time. That's not true. Can we confirm that? That's not true. I don't think so because we have clarity over here. The hangman. The hangman does see the truth. But the truth comes to the hangman when they're willing to look at something from a different perspective or to sacrifice something. And I feel like what you need is to sacrifice that over-analysis or that hypervigilance or that perfection. All of that needs to be sacrificed so that you can have the kind of aha moment or epiphany, or the information can come to you. I also feel like your creative endeavors support your success with whatever is going on. Could be legally, contractually, or getting some kind of karmic justice. This helps you transmute the energy that's been, I'm hearing, bottlenecked over here. If this situation involves you communicating in some way, you may find a better form of communication than what's anticipated of you. Speaking to the soul of the situation or the soul of the people who you need to speak to will be more effective than speaking to the reasons why something should be left behind, abandoned. Because I feel like there's some kind of process of like trying to rationalize something over here that is needed, and you did it and it helped bring the deception to light. But then it feels like this situation hasn't fully closed out, and some communication might be expected of you or asked of you, or you're going to engage in it. And once you spend some time with your creative process, it feels like you bring a new energy to the situation with the Fool card. And instead of like discussing why something should be abandoned, or how somebody walked away, or how somebody was kind of reckless in their actions, or whatever it is over here, and instead of like detailing it out, you find a way to like hit the soul of the person who needs to hear it. The Tower. Yeah, it hits them. It strikes them, what you say and how you say it. It gets to the heart of the matter. And this is the tower that needs to happen. I don't feel like this tower is for you. I feel like you might feel paranoid that someone might get off scot-free around something here. but speaking to the soul, even I'm getting the soul of the situation. What's at stake on a spiritual level here? What's at stake morally, ethically? That will be important for your success. And the way that you figure out how to do that, or you get familiar with being able to get to that place where you can communicate in that way, will be by attending to your own creative process that will probably be entirely separate from what's happening over here. Okay, so let's go through your tarot cards. 2 of Cups for what you don't see coming in reverse. Okay, so there's a split here. Somebody is no longer in agreement with someone else. 7 of Swords, there's the deception, right? Okay, so these cards fell out. 5 of Cups and the Sun. Somebody has caused a lot of grief, and that's coming to light. And I have a feeling that they're going to feel some kind of remorse and regret. Let's see. What is that feeling rooted in? It may be a little bit performative, okay? Whatever they express, they may be trying to save face at some level. But there will be an expression of grief, the Hangman in reverse. But it's not necessarily because they really feel like they've understood now what's happened and how they need to be accountable. I'm not quite getting that. But I am getting, maybe it's their higher self that gets the Tower. Or maybe it's somebody else who's observing this situation, another person who understands the karma, understands what should happen. Like, this feels very divinely orchestrated and guided and official. This strike of lightning that hits someone like, oh, there is deception here. You get success, okay? It comes out. And there's a parting of ways or a splitting in something. Someone can't pretend everything's all fine. I need a little bit more. Who or what? Ride the wave. Bad vibes. I feel like you've been trying to maybe warn people about this person, or you've been feeling the bad vibes for a long time. You've been riding the wave with it. And maybe you've been going back and forth. Am I being paranoid? Etc. Let's see. Mask. But see, you picked up on the mask. You knew something was off. Okay, so I'm not seeing a whole heap of grief in your energy. It may very well be disappointing to you with the Sun and the 5 of Cups. But as the Hangman, this is a huge moment where you realize that something is usually not what it seems when your intuition tells you so. And that you should trust your intuition. And that you will get the answers when they need to come at the right time with the Tower. So strength is your opportunity. And I feel like you have been very strong. There's no doubt about that. Whoever thought they could, get one over on you with the Strength card and the Hangman, sorely mistaken. You have this kind of level of endurance, I'm feeling, which is why the feeling carries over, because you won't just let something slide. Your opportunity is to be courageous, and part of the courage is to let something go. What I mean by that is let something come to you. And it will. It's 100% going to happen with the Tower. And justice. On top of mischief and mayhem, okay? So your opportunity is the Six of Swords. And this is moving, of course, the calmer waters. And I see this rainbow. So it's moving out of the storm into the sun and clearing your mind when and where you can, which is why the rest is important. And I'm really noticing, I forget what they call this kind of bed, four-poster bed, but this roof here over your head while you sleep is symbolic. It's significant. It's like a safe container. So when you create in your sacred space, it restores you. It's a safe, grounding thing for you to do. And it calls in more opportunities towards you. So I understand, because I feel like in the past, maybe there's been a breach of trust. Well, obviously deception, a breach of trust, but maybe a breach of security as well. And divine feminine energy, or just creative energy in general, needs that container, that masculine container, to be protected and free. You know, this isn't about gender. It's about I'm getting not feeling like the rug's going to be pulled out from underneath you. Now you can create that for yourself, and I feel like that's exactly what you're doing. But there is a little bit of like, maybe you want to relax on the socializing a little bit. Okay. Your advice, the Empress. I mean, I hope you know that this is a big part of your energy, the Empress. So what do you want to say about that, Spirit? Mother yourself, take care of yourself, create what you want to create. The Hierophant, ooh, and the Child. The Empress, the Child, and the Hierophant. Wow, okay, so there's a specific message coming through. It could be a metaphor too. So if it's not your specific situation, take it as a metaphor. You and your child, or your inner child, are going to be safe and protected. Like legally, structurally, like maybe in a home. The Hierophant here can be institution, rules, regulations, higher learning. I'm hearing higher mind. It is coming through like an angel or a guide or something. That's how I'm seeing this character. A messenger might come to you and deliver you really important news. The telephone. And this really helps you feel safe. There is an emphasis here about feeling... No, like Spirit wants you to feel settled, that you can't be tricked. So don't walk around asking questions about, are they tricking me? Are they tricking me? Are they tricking me? Because someone who repeatedly asks that, is this person deceiving me, is worried that they will be deceived. And so it kind of brews that energy within you, this fear of uncertainty. And you did have to ask that in the past, but you were right and you found out. So now know, nobody can trick me. And the minute I feel that that deception is happening, I will know. So I don't have to constantly question that, because it's just taking up energy, and it's also convincing my subconscious mind that maybe I will be tricked, so I better keep asking. Your inner child is asking you to be that container for it to be creative, right? Thank you, Spirit. So like that whole container thing I was talking about, it's like children, right? They need to have their needs met, not just to survive, but to thrive. They need that container. I'm seeing a sandbox. And so that's your advice from Spirit, is to create that sacred space, or that certain structure you need, or maybe you need a routine that would help you. Chunk off some time This is my time. This is my creative time where I'm not thinking about this. It will be there after. And when I come back to it, I'm going to have new insights. Why are you going to have new insights? Because you're letting your mind breathe and bend and reshape itself in ways where you can't, like new neural pathways start to build when you're creative. And you don't have those neural pathways without it. So it's like once those are forged through your creativity, then you go back to this situation, you have new pathways to think about something and to see something. Okay. The High Priestess for the outcome. Amazing. This is a big exercise for you in terms of honing your power to where it serves you best. That's what I'm getting. And it really is about trusting your insights and intuition. Okay, group 1, that's what I have for you. I hope that helped. And I'm going to go to group 2. Hello, group 2. Let's get into your message and see what it is that you need to know right now. I'm just going to put your charms down here. Smoky quartz, beautiful. Let's see. Oh yeah, you were the one who got the 2 cards. We have the Shaman and the Ocean. I don't think you realize how powerful you are. Maybe you do. I want to say there's something limitless here about your ability. And it has to do with your karma, with this Libra charm. Your karma, charming with your charm. Hold on a second. There's something charming in your energy. And it's like that charm, maybe it's your charisma or just your character, it brings about justice for you. I'm hearing something like, for those who watch, they see your charm. And your charm is something else happening there, but like your charm is linked to your karma. It's weird. Hold on a second. Give me a minute. There's something else going on here. It's complicated though, because it's like your charm, your charisma, your character is, yes, something that you've worked on, but it's almost like Spirit has given you a twinkle in your eye or something that you can't control that just gets people to see things your way. In time, I'm hearing. Not always in the moment, but in time, they always look back and see that you knew. That you knew what you were saying. You knew what you were doing. The Shaman, of course you do. And part of the reason how you know what you're doing is that you're very comfortable working in the unfamiliar. For some of you at a young age, this was something that someone tried to stop. Maybe your creativity, or maybe there was like you were just kind of an eccentric child or something like that, or just different. You could have even been a little bit of a loner. And there was like this push to put you back in the program. But this ability to tap in to the depth of situations and to the energy around them never went anywhere. You always had this ability, this gift really, to do that, to see beyond the surface. And you could think that sometimes you get things because you're charming, or you have to put on the charm in order to get things. And it is true. Things do come to you because of this charm, but it's not like I almost want to say it's not like you're in control of it. It's like something you've been given. You've been given this energy, this aura, this pheromone, I don't know, something that just pulls in the right things at the right time. Okay? There's also a message here with this pearl, this golden pearl. There could have been, there was a situation where a stamp of approval or some kind of recognition was offered to you. Could have been from a person, a company, a group of people. And you had a choice to make. Are you going to go after this stamp of approval, which would have required you to conform in some way, wear a mask, or be under someone's thumb in some regard? And they thought you were going to choose this path. They thought you were going to choose the stamp of approval, the thing that gets you some status or a pat on the back or someone's love even. Instead, you chose the golden pearl. And you might not have known why or what that pearl was going to get you or where it was going to take you. But it's like when you chose it, a whole world opened up for you. And there is some justice. Okay, let's keep going and see what else we get. But I feel like your charms are really important to your message. This alarm clock too, in the right time, like justice happens when it's supposed to for you. Which, I mean, is the case probably always, but it feels like even everything's on track is what I want to say. Pentacle, letter S, the shaman, guitar. Could be your voice that charms people, or the way you say things. And the love me, I do think people love you. Very much. But I will tell you that there's a depth to you that is unreachable. And I feel as though there's a little bit of this longing, maybe this loneliness even, for that unreachable part of you to be seen and loved. But it's like this part exists so deep or so far in the cosmos, like it's only for you to see. It's only for you to know. And for that reason, nobody can hurt it. Nobody can touch it. Nobody can take it away. No one can damage it. I'm hearing you hold all the answers. This is a really beautiful energy, group 2. And there's a simplicity you have as well. But there's so much complexity to you too. So this part of you that you feel never really gets seen or loved is part of your magic. Yeah, your magic, but it's like it's part of your ability to bring justice to situations. It's like this part of you that is so resourceful, has so much trust. And is really connected. That's what allows you to bring justice to situations. And I feel like Spirit protects that part of you. And being on the spiritual path, like as a shaman or whatever you want to identify as, a mystic, as a high priestess, it can feel a little lonely at times. But that alone time is absolutely necessary to go deep diving where others can't. Okay, let's go in further. King of Wands for your energy. Confidence. Okay, let's see. Inner guardian, protection, defense, and refuge. I'm telling you, that's it, right? That's the part of you. The shaman card, this is the part that can't be seen by others, that you long for others to see. And I'm not saying people don't see you as a shaman, they don't see you as spiritual and know you have gifts and all that. They do, but it's like a deeper self, like it's a core energy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's protected. It's protected, big time. Okay. And you might find that spirit gives you very specific guidance not to share certain things. Okay, I thought I took out another card. Oh, I did. Luna, manifestations, visions, and attraction. Air. Lucky. Look at that. It's like this horseshoe is like this crescent moon up here on your third eye. You have a really good instinct about which direction to take for the best possible outcome. And although you've been in very tricky situations, no doubt every shaman has, right? Every mystic, every high priestess, every magician, whatever you want to identify as, every person who's integrated and wise and connected to spirit and source has been through difficult situations. There's no doubt. For you, it could be very specific, like 3 specific encounters or events that happened in your life. Still, regardless of what happened, you found the direction that you needed to find through it. It has to do with your third eye. So you probably have a lot of visions. You know, if you close your eyes, you can probably see things very vividly, imagine things, vivid dreams. It's important for you to surround yourself with art or imagery or color or cards that have a lot of symbolic imagery or expressive imagery, because that's how you pick up a lot of your information, or that's where you get inspired too. So if your space is lacking in color or life or something, then try to put something in there that really is vibrant. And it's not luck, it's karma. You are attracting something right now, and her expression feels to me like it's not happening, or it's taking a while. So we'll find out. Now the air card. Well, let's see what's going on here. Misfortune. Yeah, I felt like it wasn't necessarily something that's working for you. I feel like when you overthink things, and group 1 had a kind of similar message. It's harder. It's not that it doesn't help. Sometimes it could give you some answers, but it's actually harder for you to manifest that way. Let's see what the other card is. Support. One second. What's this card? Hunger. Okay, let me get the rest of the oracle cards out. Okay, I see. I'm going to wait for the tarot here, but one of the biggest blocks that you have that I'm seeing it's a strength and a weakness. It's not giving up on something that you really desire when Spirit is guiding you in another direction. You know, like you have a vision of something that you want to happen, and maybe you're on that path, but then something, Spirit course corrects you or guides you in a different way. There's a choice that you need to make for your own growth, but you really want to satiate this vision that you've had, this manifestation you want. It's like you can almost taste it. But what you don't see is that Spirit's trying to gear you into this other path of growth. Maybe so that you understand some of the misfortunate opportunities, well, so you can understand that there are opportunities that have misfortune in them, and you don't see them because you're so focused on getting them, you know? Hold on. This is not easy though, because you are a highly sensitive and experienced, confident person and soul. But from time to time, you slip into this hunger, this desire for something that doesn't serve you. And because you know that you can typically get what you want, and that you're charming, and that things come to you typically, or they have in the past, it feels like you just don't give up when they don't happen or when Spirit's guiding you somewhere else. You could feel like you need something. You need to be beautiful. You need to have a certain kind of career status. You need to be seen a certain way publicly, a certain reputation. Or you need a certain amount of money or justice from a situation. There's a focus of like, I need this in order to feel fulfilled. And I'm going to focus my manifestation on that, because that's what really matters to me. That's what really supports me. And Spirit's saying, there's a different path of growth that is more fulfilling than whatever this is. And Spirit is also not saying that this is never going to happen, but it is coming from this place of, I'm not good enough, therefore I need. And you are good enough. I mean, you're pretty damn amazing. And deep down, you know that. So I need some more information on the misfortune. Okay. What's the misfortune? The dreamer and entanglement. Yeah. It's kind of an illusion, this feeling of misfortune. Because what I mean by that is you've really convinced yourself of something meaning everything, meaning so much to you, means a lot to you. It's like an entanglement with a certain manifestation or certain dream, and that just isn't happening. Or that you fear won't happen or won't continue. It could even be a fear that this isn't going to continue. My charm's going to fade, whatever it is. And this fuels like this energy of, I'm not fortunate enough. This is ridiculous. I mean, not to belittle your feelings, but And that's what I'm getting. Like you are the universe. You are, like, I know that sounds like, yeah, like a Hallmark card or something, but you have access to these places that other people don't. You have this depth that is so magical, and it's so protected. And you're here to grow that, and to focus the choices and decisions in your life around growing that part of you, not growing whatever this is. And I don't know, Guardian again, I don't know why you're focused on it. Well, it could be because you feel like that's the only way you'll be loved. What is this dream that group 2 is entangled with? The deceiver in reverse. You could have a very specific idea in your mind of what your true potential looks like. I'm confused here. The ancestor, manifestation, the key in reverse, the ancestor. Some of you might have a spiritual obsession around something. You feel like you need an answer. You need a key to this. You could be coming from group 1. You need to figure out the truth of this situation that you're entangled with, that has become ungrounded in a way. I want to tell you that whatever this is, okay, it's not really a true expression of who you are. You're more powerful than this. You're bigger than this. Let's get the cards out. Let's see. Temperance, amazing. That's what you don't see coming. And the Temperance is an alchemist. Sorry, I just want to see if you can see the cards. Yeah. Okay. Son of Pentacles, Daughter of Cups, the Tower, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because you get yourself out of this. You do. There's a pretzel here that you've twisted yourself into. And it's no shame or blame. It happens to all of us. Confidence. Yeah, Spirit is asking you to have confidence at a deeper level than what you're imagining confidence is tied to or linked to. There's something so unique about you, and you're really not giving it enough attention. You're really kind of saying like, yeah, that is who I am, but you know, that's not what's important to me. This other kind of thing I'm really desiring is truly what matters. And Spirit's saying, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You are here as karmic justice. Like, you are on earth, protected, guided, given some kind of refuge from probably past life situations so that you can take that pearl. Oh yeah, that's how we started, right? So this is all the whole stamp of approval. So remember that in the past, you said no to that steal, that stamp of approval, that status, that whatever was being offered to you. And this is just another kind of manifestation of that. You know, like you said no to that rigid job or that asshole in that relationship or whatever it was, right? Like you said, no, I'm not going after that silly stamp. I'm not going to do that because it's not true to me. I know I can access greater and better things. I'm open to exploration. And then over here, there's a different kind of stamp of approval that you feel you need. And so Spirit's saying you don't need that either. You don't. So what you don't see coming is temperance. Let's find out more about this. The star. Amazing. I feel like you're getting back on track. Now, I do want to be clear. I'm not saying that you're not going to get this. Okay? Whatever your obsession is here, and it may be something vain, okay? Okay. It's not that you can't have that or be that or that it's wrong. It's just that your energy is a little bit like it's not balanced. This needs a lot more attention. This shaman quality of yours. So what you don't see coming is there is protection for you, and you are going to get back on track, and Spirit is giving you the choice right now to grow towards your destiny, towards what's really meant for your soul. Focus on what really matters. Son of Pentacles for your opportunity. Let's find out more. The Magician. Stay dedicated to your confidence, because you have it, and it helps guide you, that confidence. And the confidence that you have, it's the Emperor. It's the ability to not, it's your ability to live how you choose, to control your own destiny, to control your own life, to not let anybody else tell you what is good, what is bad, what is acceptable, what is beautiful, what is not beautiful, what is worthy, what is not worthy. Your confidence comes from a deep knowing that you are the emperor of your own life. And you're not going to sell out and let someone or society or whatever trick you into thinking that you're not the emperor, you're not the shaman, you're not the magician, you're not the star, because you are. So redirect your manifestation energy towards temperance, towards alchemizing something that needs more healing. Daughter of Cups for the challenge. I feel like whatever it is that you're hungry for, desiring, maybe obsessed with, well, the cards here, but I don't want to be too harsh on you because I understand. I definitely get it and can relate to all of this, of course. It's coming from your inner child wounds, Like there's a part of you when you were younger that thought, if I was just like this kid, if I was just like that kid, if my family was like those children's family, or we had the money that they have, or I looked the way they did, or I was as talented as that kid was, or if I was able to play the sport like that person, whatever it was, then I would have been loved. Then I would have been accepted. Then I could have really been the emperor. That's still somewhere in there. And that's what's driving it, is that pain that's still there from that very real hurt and wound that you suffered. But you know what? You've grown so much from that, so much so that you didn't choose that stamp of approval last time. You chose the golden pearl instead. And so Spirit's reminding you to do the same in this situation too. And recognize that it is coming from a place that is not vain, but hurt. Hurt. Anything else from here? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, is you're otherworldly. Okay, and as an otherworldly being, you're gonna be different. And you may not be rewarded by society that does not value difference. They want the same thing, same cogs in the wheel. Okay, and you're not one of them. So it is a little bit tougher and harder. But that's what allows you to see things clearly and differently than other people. You can see the truth of your own soul, and it's not based on the value of your soul, is not based on whatever this represents for you. 10 of Swords. See? Hurt, betrayed. Maybe you were blocked access even somewhere. And it's a challenge, because although that's over in your life, you still know the swords hurt, or maybe they're still there. So there's something you could do. Well, the Tower is your guidance. It's your advice. This is an epiphany, but it's a painful one. It's a shake-up too. And the tree is masculine energy. It's father energy. Okay, and there's a suggestion here from Spirit to not put so much value in that, in authority or dominance, like the shadow side of the masculine that says things have to be this way. It's like a king in the shadow energy that hurt you. Okay, now it's not gender related. It's somebody who told you your value was based on a certain quality that you happen to not have. And that is not true. Your value is not based on that. So it's time to get rid of that whole system. It's time to get rid of that order. I'm hearing order of authenticity, of measuring yourself against certain things that you feel you should have or that you don't have, measuring yourself against other people, which again, we all do in some way or another. So it's not that you're not smart and wise, and because you are. It's just hard down here on this 3D plane that we're in. It's hard because there's pressures constantly coming towards us to be different, to be so-called better according to someone else's standards. And that pressure is insidious, and it's repetitive. Okay, so it's hard to consistently break from. But if you focus on your growth, your spiritual growth, or your magical abilities, your creative magical abilities to do things, then you do break out of that more and more. The Tower. Son of Swords. Ooh, I like this. You're coming in swift here. Cut this tree down. This is also like hierarchical thinking. You know, it's seeing people in a hierarchy, and maybe you're not at the top in your mind, right? And so you're cutting that kind of thinking down. This person's better than that person. I'm better than them. I'm not better than them. You know, all of that. Or I need to climb my way to the top. Or power comes from the top down. All of that stuff. That's changing now. Your advice is to move towards a way of being where you realize that all are one. And I know you already know that as the shaman, but really, we have to remind ourselves sometimes. Because when all are one, you can have anything you want. And you can even have whatever you're obsessing over. But once we remind ourselves that all are one, usually what we're obsessing over, we realize actually there's other things that are probably better. that we should focus on. Because I feel like this disconnects you from who you really are in some way. Three of Swords in reverse. Amazing. So this is like the pain around this and around the wound and all of this starts to heal. And you're aware of it. You're aware of how maybe you've been hurting yourself, or how certain expectations have been hurting you, kept you bound, kept your thoughts kind of constrained too. You know, this could even be like, I have to be the best writer in the world, you know, or I have to be the best painter, or blah, 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 right? Like, this is the masculine energy in the light coming out and saying, this is you saying to yourself, I see that you've been hurt. I see, little one inside of you, inside of me. I see what happened. I remember. And it hurt. And it's understandable why you've been consuming yourself with this or thinking about it a lot and worried and all of that. It's understandable. But we're different now. And we know that our difference is for a reason, a very powerful one. And that our differences helped protect us from going down the wrong path or falling into a system in which we were just another cog in the wheel, not growing, not ascending, not being the star of our own lives. It actually protected us. So that's the conversation you're having with yourself in the future. It's not telling yourself you shouldn't care, you shouldn't be hurt, you're vain for thinking that way. It's not telling yourself those things. It's saying, I see the pain and it's okay. I understand, but we're not going to let it rule our lives. So that's what I have for you, Group 2. I hope that helped. Group 3, the Walnut crew. Let's see what's going on for you. Now, this is a symbol of magic, for one, but also wisdom. So let's see, forever, a sun, a flower. It's very positive energy coming through. Let's see, what are your cards? The Village. I was getting this kind of like you're a guide. And the older you get, the more powerful you get, well, naturally, but it feels like you start recognizing why you're here. Your purpose, the Pathfinder, intelligent, keen insight, and premonition. Prophecies, revelations, insight, messages. Okay, what else do we have? What's this card? Page of Swords. Yes, you are a guide, that's for sure. Powerful one. Shift. New life. Well, let's put these down here. The Leader. Male. Oh, well, yeah, you're a messenger. You're a guide. Confusion. Competition. Interesting. Pessimistic. Bad influence. Passion. I'm going to pull out all the cards actually right now. The Emperor. Father of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles. Oh, these cards were stuck together. Father of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so let me just look at this for a second. There's a lot here, but also the message is so clear. Well, I'm talking to someone who's helping other people, or should, if you're not, okay? Because you really help people. You get them to shift out of confusion. You lead them through challenging times. The words that you say and the things you share about your own story, your own journey, your own life, your own wisdom, it has a huge impact. Probably more than you know. You help people find their path or create their path. And this is a gift you've had forever, or a skill, an energy you've had forever, to always illuminate things with the sun. Get more sun. It helps you. Because you do see in the dark. But it's like that sun energizes you so that when it's time to go into the realm of intuition and prophecy and premonition, you're like charged up with you're illuminated. And I feel like this flower here, it's like you open up a message like a flower. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really amazing. And when I was pulling the cards, like turning them over, I was wondering, like, what's the conflict? Because, I mean, it's always nice to get messages of validation, but usually there's some guidance for something that we could ourselves shift and make things more conscious to us about what's been blocking us or creating an obstacle. And I can see that here, but I don't know about it. So what I am seeing, and it's in the outcome with the Father of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, it's a suggestion here. Well, is it? It's really to not be scared to be the leader. And one reason why there might be a little bit of fear of being a leader is because sometimes the leader is left out of the follower group, you know, and the follower group is many and they have their own bond. And so it could feel kind of like you're an outsider at times. But you are instructing a group of people, or just people in general, how to do something monumental or pretty important. You are clearing up some confusion in other people's lives for them, but I feel like as you clear up confusion for other people and you facilitate shifts and all of this stuff, you're also doing it for yourself. And maybe that's what you don't realize, is that's how that works. Okay, let me see. Your overall energy is the Page of Swords. Very inquisitive, very curious, very smart. You're kind of a sponge as well. Like you really soak in information and energy, and it's kind of stored in there for you to access whenever you need it, or whenever someone else needs you to help them. It's like you have it all in there. Maybe this is something that's getting to be tiring for you, or you don't know what to do with this gift that you have, this talent, you have this skill to lead. You're not really sure. Or you've been doing it for a long time and the passion might be starting to fade. I'm going to have to pull some more cards to really get to what the tension is here. Now we do have pessimistic bad influence, and I want to find out what that is. You could be hard on yourself because sometimes you don't see things as clearly as you think you should, or you don't get the messages that you want or feel you need from spirit. Everybody's psychic abilities or intuitive abilities work in unique ways. So if that's something that's currently becoming an issue for you, or you feel like you're not getting something that you need to help you lead other people, I would say don't feed into that thought and lean into your strengths. You do clear up confusion. But with competition here, you could really be comparing yourself in a way that's just, well, it's not only that it's not helpful, but it's kind of not useful at all. Like it's an illusion. There's no comparisons to be made in all actuality. You are also, thank you, Spirit. You are also getting an invitation that's going to lead you or offer you a new path. Yeah. This path is going to put you in contact or in the space of other people who are like you, who are also leaders. And you're pretty used to doing something on your own. You could also be the one that kind of always holds all the weight for everybody. You know, you're the one kind of helping everyone all the time. Or people are always coming to you all the time. You know, it's like you feel like pulled. And you've gotten used to it. But now there's a new opportunity here for sure. A new life for you to work with, I'm hearing elders, or work with others who are also leaders. Yeah. Okay, so you're in the village now with everybody. You're the leader in the village. And then it's like now you're being elevated to still be a leader of that village, but you kind of have to separate yourself a little bit more and go to the top of the mountain with the other leaders. Here, see the mountain where everybody's at the bottom and you're over here, the owl's perched at the top. And it feels like there's kind of like this separation happening. That might feel different, unfamiliar. You're used to kind of being in it with everyone. Or maybe when you would lead people, you would help them, you were closer to what you were helping them come out of. Like, for instance, if they were working through a bad breakup, you had just gone through one yourself, and therefore, like, you could really relate to the person. So you were able to really just think about your experience and then, like, talk about how what you did could help them. Or if you're a teacher, it's like you had just come out of being a student or something like that, right? It's like you were really close to the experience that you were helping people with. But now you're much further away from that. Yeah, it reminds me of like a young teacher. She's close to the age of her students, let's say in college or university. And then every year she gets new students, she gets older, the students stay the same age. So the gap starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't relate. You don't know the pop culture references like you used to. So there's a gap that's obvious, that feels maybe foreign in some way. This could even be your children, right? Like you're finding there's a bigger gap with your children or whatever it is for you. And Spirit's asking you to take ownership and leadership of that position, even though it feels different now, even though you are far, far away from whatever the people you're helping are going through. You're finding a new way to provide messages and insights and give revelations than you used to because of the distance that you now have. And this distance is because of your growth. So there's a new life, like a new way of helping, of being a leader. And this is going to help resolve any feelings you had around being pessimistic or focusing on competition or being confused about what you're doing, because you're going to become more passionate about how you're doing things, because you'll be connected with these other leaders who are close to you. And the reason why I'm getting that you're going to be with other leaders, other people who are like you, is because the Nine of Pentacles is the challenge. And that's a card of being alone, doing things solitary. And what you don't see coming is the Emperor. This is both you and the other leaders. King of Swords is also you here too. So you might get a promotion at work. And it might create confusion because somebody who was in competition with you is now your subordinate. What a word, right? But they're your subordinate. And now the relationship is kind of messed up, right? But you have to step into this role and claim it. Also, you, although you are a leader, you are also a follower as the Page of Swords. You are also forever someone who is learning and curious and still has that young spirit at heart. And that's what connects you to those that you help. But your life experience and the path you're on now is much different than it was before. You've had a shift, which you wanted. You have more intelligence now. You're this wise old walnut. I mean that in the most endearing way possible. So I want to dig more into this challenge. Well, let's go through these cards first. We have the Father of Pentacles as your opportunity. It's very interesting, this reading too, on the heels of the second one. Anyways, there's growth for sure, but well, tell me more about the Father of Pentacles as the opportunity. Father of Cups, the Tower. You are going to have to say, Mother of Swords, yes, you are going to have to say and do things that others might not react well to initially. Some of you have no problem with that. Others of you, it's going to be more of a challenge. You are going to be seen as more of an authority figure, and there are going to be those who do not like authority, do not like what you have to say, do not like your delivery or whatever, however it is that you're helping. Yeah, the Three of Cups, exactly. Right? These three birds here are chilling, they're having a good time, they're talking amongst each other, and you're over there watching, right? And they're not going to fly over and hang out with you because there's an intimidation almost, but Spirit wants you to not look at it as that, but more as respect. There will be people who do not want you to lead them, and that's absolutely fine. And don't try. They can't, don't try to do that. Everyone has their choices to make. But the distance that you feel from some people might not be because they look poorly at you or they think that you are too harsh. It would be because they respect you. They respect the boundary between your knowledge and their knowledge. The pathfinder, and you are showing them the path. to become a leader themselves. For some of you, you could have people you're working with and you're getting too close to them. Okay, that's a very specific message, but there's a chasm between you, an energetic chasm. Like you're on top of the mountain, they're in the village, but you're kind of treating them as if they can come to the top of the mountain with you, but they can't. And that might create some confusion. And they might start to feel competitive, get a false sense of their own abilities or something like that. Or I don't feel like that would be the best influence for you. Now, the goal is to eventually also for them to get to the top of the mountain and for you to come back down to the village also. But just because you can go back down into the village and be of use on the ground, in the thick of the collective or whatever it is, doesn't mean everybody can go up to the mountain. I hope this is making sense. 4 kings on the table. It's interesting because in the last reading, I think it was, we just talked about the king in the shadow side. And now this is definitely king in the light. Didn't these cards come out for the... Yeah, they did. They did come out in the last reading. You are also going to change the way things have been. Like there has been a certain expectation of you as a pathfinder, as a prophet, as a leader, as whatever you are, right? Like there's been a certain expectation that this is how you have to do things, and you're going to change that. But I do feel this energy of you getting a little bit more distant, a little bit more reserved in some way, but it's for your benefit. It helps more. There's less confusion that happens for others. So your opportunity... Yeah, see? The King of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, this is like not feeling enmeshed and entangled with those that you're trying to help, which is 100% different than empathy, right? You can still be empathetic and have that distance or that difference. Because there's a kind of a danger here if you get too close with someone that you're healing, helping, whatever it is, right? Leading, teaching, and they turn their back on you, they don't listen to you, or they reject something that you have to say, that it's going to unnecessarily taint your own opinion of your abilities and what you can do. Like you might start to doubt yourself or think you did something wrong, or that you were a bad influence because they didn't take your advice. But if you have that healthy, safe, protective boundary in place, and it's not so much a boundary, but it's just an understanding, really, a respect for them as the student, as the one who, the querent, the follower, whatever it is, right? Respecting them and where they're at allows you to let them go when they need to go and wish them well in the process. Okay, 9 of Pentacles for the challenge. 10 of Cups, yeah. These are the leaders that you're connecting with. You're going from the 9 to the 10. And in the 9, you were very focused on like securing yourself and your security. Securing yourself and your security? Yes, that's exactly what you were doing. Lots of focus on security, which was important, but that's changing now. Now the focus is less on maybe financial security or physical or emotional security and create, like, nesting, all of that. The focus is more on connection with equal energies who can feed you and you can feed them. It's equal. Everybody wins here. Everybody is getting their cup filled and everyone's pouring out their cup. It's a two-way street. And I think that's what's beginning to change. That's what's been missing, kind of, is that what you used to get from what you used to give isn't there anymore. Because you need something different. You require a different energy now than what people were giving you before. And it's not that what they were giving you wasn't good enough. It's just now you've shifted. You need something else. Ace of Pentacles for your advice. This is a brand new opportunity brought to you by your experience and your wisdom and all the years of the things that you've been through. Little walnut has grown into a big tree. Okay, let's see. Daughter of Swords, Mother of Cups. This, I'm having trouble finding the right word for it. This, what should I call it? Guardian. Yeah, this protection that you create around your own emotional, energetic, psychic space allows you to give to something else that you are closer with that needs you. This could be a part of yourself. This could be a child. This could be a new project. This could be something you need to learn, something you're creating. You have more energy to give to this and to take the opportunity, because I feel like you're picking up a lot of other energies. It's kind of just not really working the way it used to. Yeah, the fire, the passion is fading. And so, yeah, and there's a little bit of like, I've been kind of doing this a while and like, I need a change. And you don't have to do much other than acknowledge how far you've come, and that surrounding yourself with other leaders would help you grow even more. And these leaders, of course, are not going to be competitive with you. And it would allow you to really focus on something else that you're fostering, that you're caring for, something within you, or maybe it's someone else, but I feel like it could be just with you and yourself. And this is exactly the place that you're supposed to be right now. Okay? Some of you, this is very specific and not for all of you. Some of you are working with a relatively small group of people, and so it's much easier to get close to them. But that doesn't mean you are on the same journey as them. Okay? I feel like that's it. I hope that helped, Group 3. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.